You are listening to the Political Periscope, a weekly podcast brought to you by Radio WNET. Interviews on international politics, security, geopolitics, economy, and more. Every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Today's guest of the Political Periscope is Stanislav Horbachevskyi, CEO of the Task Force Translation Company from Ukraine.
Political Periscope.
You're a Ukrainian entrepreneur, a founder and the CEO of a rather big company, yes? And translations are something that's probably really needed right now between Poland and Ukraine and other countries.
That is absolutely true. We started more than 10 years ago. We started in 2011. And now we are top 3 biggest translation companies in Ukraine. And now we're an international company with office in Warsaw.
So you're here in Warsaw, but for you being here in Warsaw can be kind of difficult. You're in the age to not be let out of Ukraine easily.
That is absolutely true. But I'm lucky that I have a reservation from Ministry of Economy, as I am CEO of Ukrainian company that is paying taxes, hire people and develop a Ukrainian economy. I have an option to travel abroad.
Of course, I address this question because it's probably one of the first questions that will pop in many people's heads when they are listening to a Ukrainian entrepreneur here in Poland, right? And how is it to be Ukrainian entrepreneur trying to expand the operations to Poland? How is Polish market? Is it accommodating? And how is it?
So my experience is absolutely positive. I'm really happy to be right now in Poland, in Warsaw, and develop my business. The market for translation services is much higher than Ukrainian. If we compare, Ukrainian translation market before the war was around $50 million per year. In Poland, amount of translation market is about $230 to $270 million, so 5 times difference.
How much of those translations of this market is actually generated by Ukrainians coming to Poland?
To be honest, I think it's not so big percentage, because the biggest part is business translations, because Poland is, I would say, middle of Europe and has so many business connections all over the world. So Polish businesses need translations into German, into Italian, French, etc. And of course, vice versa. So market is growing, absolutely.
And Polish market, Polish regulations, Polish laws, and they differ from Ukrainians. And how do you manage to cope with them?
I think that entrepreneurs should focus on business. And if you speak about legal, finance, and other regulations, I think we have to outsource them to professionals, to law firms, audit firms, and other.
Well, as a big company, you have this privilege to be able to do it, right? It's a different situation for smaller entrepreneurs, smaller companies.
But I think even small entrepreneurs and small companies should outsource their needs, then focus on them, because in that case, they don't think about their business and they don't focus on growing, developing, and that's why they don't grow.
How long has been this Polish division existing already?
From last summer, so more than 12 months.
Last summer, it was already a time of this full-scale Russian invasion on Ukraine. And a natural question that comes to my mind is, what do you, as a Ukrainian entrepreneur, as a Ukrainian, I suppose, seeing the flag on your jacket, Ukrainian patriot, what are you doing? How are you supporting the war, the Ukrainian military?
We have different ways of support. First, we support directly armed forces, but we have special divisions whom I know personally, and we cover their direct needs. Another part is we help with the translations. So, especially when the war started, Ukrainian army started to change their processes from Soviet Union to NATO processes, business processes. And of course, there are so many documents from NATO should be translated into Ukrainian for Ukrainian armed forces that should understand all these details. So of course we were helping to translate it.
I imagine it's a lot of technical language. Do you also translate, like, I don't know, an instruction how to operate a tank or a rocket launcher or something like this?
Sounds funny, but absolutely true. And right now we are getting more and more projects in military specialization.
Yeah, it may be funny if you're like watching movies and everything, but yeah, finally that's life and that's the reality that we are living in. And sometimes it looks maybe more like a movie than we would like it to look like, right? What do you think should be a role of Ukrainian entrepreneurs and Ukrainian companies during the war? Do you think that everyone should help, or they should do business?
Well, when Ukrainian entrepreneurs do business, they pay taxes, they pay salaries, and as you know, our Western partners support Ukraine, but they cover social needs of the country, but they don't give money for the war directly. So all taxes that Ukrainian businesses are paying, they go directly to army budget. So all this Ukrainian business that paying taxes, it means it's supporting Ukraine and supporting fighting for independence. And so I think that as much as Ukrainian entrepreneurs can do business, they have to do business, and this is direct support.
For a long time, Russian market was important for many Ukrainian companies, and now they had to switch to other markets. What do you think about it? What do you think about doing businesses with Russia before the invasion and looking for other opportunities now?
I think that doing business with Russia looks like using drugs. So first time you think you are enjoying, but the end is only death. From 2014, most Ukrainian businesses started to ban Russian businesses, Russian products, and look at Western partners, Western businesses, Western markets. And of course, after 24th of February, Russian business is absolutely banned in Ukraine. Of course, so we don't have Russian companies in Ukraine. We don't sell to Russia. We don't buy from Russia. And of course, it's very difficult path for some Ukrainian companies that were doing business with Russia, but there is no options. Only start doing business with the European countries and all over the world.
Ukraine is in the state of war. There are active military operations in the east, but there are also constant missile and drone attacks, even in as western parties of the country as Ivano-Frankivsk or Lviv. And for many companies from outside, I imagine it's difficult to do businesses with Ukraine, with Ukrainian companies, because they think, well, okay, yeah, we can start some project together, but tomorrow you can be without electricity in the best case or dead in the worst case. And how do you cope with that? Is there a problem with like Western partners, other businesses, that they don't want to do businesses with Ukrainians because they are scared?
Yeah, of course, that's the difficult question for Ukrainian business. First, to show to our clients that we can keep working. For example, I can talk about our linguistic business, and we had a real problem with the electricity and with the phones, but we were prepared. So we bought a Starlink, we bought a huge generator, and we were working from the office all winter, and there were no stops of providing services. But of course, in minds of our clients and partners could be that it's going to be the problem. So our goal of Ukrainian business is to show that we are a reliable partner and we can really work even from the shelter, even during the blackouts, even in any time, but we keep working because that's the question of our not only economy, it's the question about our lives, because keep doing business, we can continue donating, supporting, and that helps our army, and we keep fighting.
Another problem, another issue is demographics right now in Ukraine. Many men are in the army fighting, many women left. Don't you have any problems with workforce?
We have, because our headquarters is in Kiev, and of course we feel that hiring new people is getting more and more difficult. But from pandemic times, we working remotely. Well, right now we work like in hybrid format, so partly remotely, partly from office. So we can hire, for example, Ukrainians in European countries, and we even have one person in the United States with a time difference. So we try to find our people all over the world. But next step, we are hiring Polish people in Poland. So we are not focusing only on Ukrainian employees.
It was going to be my next question, that wasn't your expansion to Poland a bit related with the move of Ukrainians, that Ukrainians moved here, probably some of your employees also moved here, and you decided, maybe it's a good opportunity to start work here.
Well, you are absolutely right. First, we felt that when the war started, we started to get more and more projects, contracts from Poland, because when first people moved to Poland, Polish businesses understood that they have to translate into Ukrainian language to get these people become their customers. The second point is Ukrainian business started to move to Polish market, so they need translations into Polish. And with this, that was like we moved by the flow. So we've seen that here's an opportunity and we have to use it, because if you don't grow or develop, you're bankrupt.
We all hope that the war will soon be over with the victory of Ukraine, of course, and the reconstruction of Ukraine will start. How do you see it? How do you see the future? What do you think will happen? And what can be a role of Ukrainian companies and your company in it?
I hope that win will be very soon. And even now, I see that some companies start to operate on Ukrainian market. But of course, when the war will be finished, we will have many rebuild projects, and even many companies will start to provide goods and services in Ukraine. I think that of course, we could have a big role in this rebuilding, because I'm pretty sure that we will not have enough Ukrainian companies that will provide this rebuilding process. Imagine this amount of rebuilding infrastructure, bridges, roads, houses, etc. So we will invite companies all over the world, and I'm sure that top of the companies are gonna be from Poland, because our closest neighbors, close to mentality, our partners. So I'm sure that we will have a lot of Polish business in Ukraine. And of course, I understand that to cover these projects, international companies will need help with the translations of documents, communication, etc., etc. And of course, we hope that we will have more and more projects.
You said that you hope Polish businesses will come and that we are partners, closest neighbors, and I agree. But unfortunately, what we can observe right now between our countries, the situation is rather tense regarding exactly this, regarding commerce, regarding the trade of grain, but also from Ukrainian side, Ukraine wants to ban Polish vegetables. And what do you think about it as a Ukrainian living currently in Poland, as an entrepreneur? You understand the market, you know how it affects the market. What's your opinion?
My opinion that, I'm not expert in agriculture trading, but as Ukrainian entrepreneur, I understand that that is not a good idea to spoil relations between Ukraine and Poland. So I hope that Ukrainian government and Polish government will sit at the table and will communicate and will find the solution. I don't want Ukraine and Poland be opponents. I was just talking yesterday at the IFC conference, and it was also about financing Ukrainian businesses and supporting Ukrainian refugees, and how make Ukrainian refugees become entrepreneurs. And that was my point. That I also had a question about this bad times in relations between Ukraine and Poland, and my personal thing is that we have to be friends, because it's really dangerous during such terrible times when we have Russian forces in Ukraine, and you see they are trying to mobilize new 700,000 people to the war. So unfortunately, war is not finished, and the risks are really high, because that's not a secret that Russia says that after Ukraine we would like to go to Europe. They are talking about Finland, they are talking about Lithuania, Latvia, and of course some of crazy guys are talking about Poland. So unfortunately it's not a finish. So war is keep going, and this time is not the best time to be opponents between Ukraine and Poland.
Right now we are in the middle of electoral campaign in Poland, and of course it's related to a lot of emotions and tensions inside of our nation, of our society, and one of the important topics of this campaign is of course Ukraine and the attitude towards Ukrainian. How do you feel here in Poland as Ukrainian, observing this for over 12 months, observing Polish society and Polish attitude towards Ukraine and Ukrainians and Ukrainian refugees? Have you noticed any changes? Do you feel, less welcomed or more welcomed? Has anything changed in this regard?
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you so much to Poland and Polish people, Polish businesses, Polish government that helped Ukrainians so much. And for me personally, I feel myself very well in Poland. All my I would say partners that we do business, our clients, partners, suppliers, very very nice and very welcome to me as a Ukrainian entrepreneur, very helpful. So I feel myself very well, and I'm very thankful for Polish people for supporting us. And I really hope that this will not be changed. So it will be in the same very positive way.
So you haven't noticed any changes in recent months?
No, absolutely. Maybe I'm too focused on business, and I'm spending all my time in office and in business communication, so I don't have enough time maybe just walking and sightseeing and maybe communication with the people, but that I feel myself great here.
I'm actually very glad. Maybe you don't go too often to some social media to look for anti-Ukrainian commentaries that I do all the time. That's a part of my job also. So maybe this pessimistic view of the world is kind of biased because of my use of social media. So if you could maybe share from your point of view some receipt for success, how to build successful business, how to do international business. It's not probably an easy task, and at first when you're thinking about it, it's kind of scary.
Well, that's the very good question. Honestly, I started my business in university time, so when I was a student. So I didn't think about any scares of or another point. So it was a funny story, and it was interesting. It was maybe I didn't want to spend all my time for the just education. So when I see an opportunity to do business, I decided, wow, it's a great opportunity. Let's do this, and then we will see what will happen. But Piotr, would you mind? I would like to add comment on your previous question. Just two comments. First comment is that, as I mentioned before, and all money from Ukrainian taxes go to the army. So when Polish businesses decide to work with the Ukrainian businesses, it means that money that they send for goods and services to Ukraine, then they go to army, and then army has money for weapon, rockets, etc. So this really help us to come to the victory. And the second question is more microeconomical. If we look at GDP in Poland in 2021, it was around $680 billion. In 2022, it's around $714 billion. So the growth is 5%. Polish economy, by the way, the fastest growing in European Union, and that's really great. And I think that part of this 5% growth is Ukrainian business. I would not say that it's like whole 5%, but I think part is. And I would like to say that Ukrainian business and Ukrainians are not competitors to Polish companies. We are partners. So we are part of your growth, and we are happy of it. So let's be real partners, not opponents. Let's develop Poland. Let's support Ukraine, and let's get our victory against Russia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piotr.
This was the Political Periscope. The podcast is released every Thursday at 7 p.m.